In this lesson, we will be solving one-step multiplication and division equations. The target is that you will be able to solve one-step equations using multiplication and division. So a quick recap. When we solve the equation x minus 4 equals 5, we add 4 to both sides. This is because adding 4 is the inverse operation. And we said inverse is really just a fancy way of saying doing the opposite. We do this because we want to isolate the x on one side of the equation. So to move the negative 4, we need to do the opposite and add 4. What do you think the inverse operation of multiplication is? Division. Multiplication and division undo each other. What do you think the inverse operation of division is? Multiplication. Example 1, solving equations by dividing. Problem number 1 says negative 4 times x equals 84. We need to isolate the x. So find the equal sign, draw the line straight down the middle. To undo this multiplication here, because this is a negative 4 times x, we are going to undo that by dividing. We show that by underlining both sides and then put a negative 4 on both sides. This little fraction bar means divide. When we divide both sides by negative 4, the negative 4's will cancel on the left-hand side, leaving me with just x equals. Now I need to do 84 divided by negative 4. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. 84 divided by 4 is 21. So my final answer is x equals negative 21. Problem number 2. This problem says 49 equals 7 times y. So to isolate the y, we need to undo this multiply by 7. So we are going to divide both sides by 7. On the right-hand side, my 7's will cancel, and I bring down the y equals. On the left, we do 49 divided by 7, which just gives me 7. So final answer, y is equal to 7. Problem 3. This problem says negative 12 times w equals negative 60. Again, to undo this multiplication, I need to divide both sides by negative 12. My negative 12's will cancel. Bring down w equals. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. 60 divided by 12 is 5. Okay, let's go through a few checkpoint problems together to see if you understand this lesson. So problem 1, to isolate d, what should I do? I need to divide both sides by negative 4. The negative 4's will cancel. I end up with d equals. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. 56 divided by 4 is 14. So final answer, d equals 14. Problem 2, draw the line. 14 times h equals 42. To undo that multiplication, I'm going to divide both sides by 14. My 14's will cancel, so I'm left with h equals. What is 42 divided by 14? 3. So final answer, h equals 3. Last problem. 3,300 is equal to 30 times x. What should I do to isolate x? I need to divide both sides by 30. On the right, my 30's will cancel. I'm left with x equals. What is 3,300 divided by 30? 110. So that takes care of all of our examples of solving equations by dividing. Now let's take a look at the opposite. And example 2 is all about solving equations by multiplying. Problem 1. This problem says x divided by 9 is equal to 3. So I need to undo this divide by 9 by using an inverse operation. The opposite of dividing by 9 is to multiply by 9. So over on the left, I'm just going to put a times 9 using a dot, not an x. And on the right-hand side, I'm going to put times 9. This times 9 and this divide by 9 are opposites, so they cancel. And I bring down x equals 3 times 9 is 27. Problem number 2. This problem says r divided by -5 equals 10. Again, to undo that division, I need to multiply both sides. And I need to get rid of this -5, so I'm going to multiply both sides by -5. I do this because the negative times the negative will cancel out and make it a positive. So all of this cancels. I'm left with r equals, and on the right-hand side, 10 times -5 is -50. Problem 3. This says 0 equals x divided by 12. So to undo that divide by 12, I need to multiply both sides by 12. On the right, my 12s will cancel, and I'm left with x equals, be careful, 12 times 0 is still 0. 0 is a number, so don't be afraid to get that in math class. Okay, 3 more checkpoint problems for you to try along with me. Problem 1. What should I do to isolate the n? I need to multiply both sides by 3. This divide by 3 and this times by 3 will cancel. I bring down the n equals 3 times 8 is 24. Problem 2. To isolate the p, I need to multiply both sides by 18. So I'll put times 18 on the left, times 18 on the right. My 18s cancel. P equals, what is -3 times 18? That makes -54. A negative times a positive will always be a negative. One more problem, problem number 3. What should I do to isolate the x? I see divide by 7, so in order to undo that, I need to multiply both sides by 7. My 7s will cancel, drop down the x equals, what is 7 times 10? 70. So my final answer is just x equals 70.